a tea party in Boston that was illegal, too.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold.
We shall seek to establish and maintain a dollar which will not change its purchasing and debt-paying power during the succeeding generation.
As anguished shrieks rose up from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Government credit and government currency are really one and the same thing. A reserve of gold and a small reserve of silver.
So, and I said, well, what if it does happen? And he says, well, price will solve everything. I said, thanks, give me the gold. You know?
Why do central banks hold it? Well, it's a form of reserves. So why don't they hold diamonds? Well, it's tradition, long-term tradition.
Well, some people still think it's money.
Welcome back to the Junius Maltby Channel. Thanks for joining me. You are live. The extemporaneous ramblings of a madman broadcasting unscripted as usual and live, of course, as I already stated. We've got some news to talk about today. We're getting close to some record territory. 10-year highs for silver. I looked it up. I checked. That's correct. It's about 10-year highs. We're at decade highs. Getting real close to the 33 mark, which many of you know. 33 is kind of a special number to some people, some powerful people. I don't take much heed of it or really care, but it is a psychological mark, I think, with silver anyway, that 33 level. Some people, of course, you get all these people saying what it's going to do after it crosses that line, where it's going to go. Oh, it's going to blow up. It's going to blast through 34. It's going to... All I know is if it breaks 33, it breaks 33. We've got some headlines pulled up, but there was a clip I wanted to share with everybody because it does pertain to, we've talked a lot on this channel about the Googleog and censorship, the intolerance of the Bolsheviks, the Marxist progressives and the left, the Democrats and them over there. There's a lot to be said for the direction they try to take us in. And how they try to silence opposition. And I'm just going to play a clip for you. It's a quick example. Imagine for a minute now. Imagine for a minute if you're one of those people suffering from, and I had a long conversation yesterday about this with a friend. Imagine you're one of those people suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Like, I'm not a big, look, I don't see eye to eye 100% with that guy, all right? But there's these people that have this psychological, this psychosis when it comes to, I think not necessarily the individual itself. So let's disconnect it from it. I don't think they're as fearful or as psychotic in the man as they are perhaps what he might, in their perception. Now, follow me here. These are some words you might need to look up here. But their perception of the ideologies he represents, I think that's where their fear comes from. They hate the people who support or align with some of, perhaps not all, but some of his ideology or some of the ideas he might represent. I think that's why we see some of the leftists get so hysterical, even some of those in the deep state right, like the Republicans, the rhinos and such. But check this clip out as we talk about it real quick. I want to play this piece for you. And I did steal it. It's from some Instagram. Get the volume for you. It's a good clip. It's good audio. But here we go. Let's see if I can play it. Let's see if it gets working here. Come on. Oh, there it is. I got to go.
And this
warning. This is Hillary. God dang it! I got to always get the volume going.
Engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
Allow me to go again. We're going to hear that again.
Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda and whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
So listen now, that's just one clip that of Hillary talking on that topic, and I got some other stuff I want to play for you in a minute. Sorry for blasting your ears out with Hillary's voice. Oh my goodness. Recently she stated that if they didn't get these media companies, these tech companies to what was the word she used? Better monitor or censor the material that's coming out, filtering through these sites. And she said they would quote, or we quote, would lose control. I think she slipped up. I think she did mean to say that the elite, the powerful, her people, would lose control over power, over the information, because that's what this is. A lot of this is the information war, as we all know, fighting for what defines reality, what is truth, what is real, what is the real history, what is the real story behind things, what are the real, I mean, it's in everything, question everything. What are the real inflation numbers? Why was gold once illegal? Why do you hate gold, but why do you hold it? What's the story behind the Fed and the Treasury? What is this relationship? The military-industrial complex, the way money flows in this economy, who controls it? Why did people in North Carolina get $700, but Ukraine get $80 billion? Why are we sending B-1 bombers to fight a war for Israel? Lots of questions, lots of incredible topics that you could dive into and spend hundreds of hours discussing and researching. Ultimately, in reading history and spending a long time, breaking apart and diving into each little decade and each little story and the minutiae of all the different tales that span going back to beyond even the Roman Empire, you start coming to some conclusions. You start seeing certain trends. You start realizing there's a lot of coincidences, especially in modern times. And I have yet to really dive into some of those things. I do have the information at hand, but there's a lot of good podcasts out there, a lot of good people that are ideologically sound that tell those tales. So I would just be, spitting into the ocean, thinking I'm adding to its volume. It's out there. You can find these truths. But the story that we've tended to scratch the surface of here has always been money, right? Sound money, gold, silver, preservation of labors, the language of value, units of account, all those things, right? This fascinating topic of humans engaging in economic transactions and what we put our value in, how we store our labor, how we transport it, how we trade and barter. And that's kind of where this channel comes in. And that's what it was the reason why it's the door that opened up to so many other topics, because ultimately they all open up to like one central room, right? Imagine you have all these doors, but every time you're in this huge central room, this like banquet hall, and there's thousands of doors that come into it or enter into it. Each one of those is a different topic, a different story, that all lead essentially to the same place. And eventually, if you follow the crumbs, if you follow the clues, if you follow the tail, just like I did with coinage with you guys over the course of over a decade on this channel, as you go from coin to coin and you go backwards in time and you look at metal content and the images on them and how they were traded, where they were traded, what their values were, what the purchasing power was, we all lead to the same place. And many topics lead us to these same conversations, this struggle against these powers, these elite, and those who control things and those who wish to enslave humanity and mankind, and destroy us and purchase our souls or sell them or sacrifice us somehow. There's nefarious actions for sure, and these people are evil. They're diabolical, satanic. They're part of the synagogue of Satan for sure. Now, we're going to get into metals. I know that's why you're here. Many of you are here because it's a lot of movement today. I get it. I looked at it. I saw it. I had breakfast and coffee. I worked a lot yesterday, but I was paying attention. I was seeing things. Thank you, Abdiel Lawrence, for the super chat. Good friend. He says, greetings from Munich. All the best, Junius. Abdiel, you need to get out of Europe, my friend. You got to get out of Europe at some point. When you start seeing things take place historically, like we're seeing currently, you might want to, go someplace else. Go someplace safer. That's a little close to the front for me. A little too close to the Eastern Front. Let's segue into the metal conversation. Let's get into it. And I want to share with you this clip here because it's important. Again, Americans think this is something they'll never experience. They're immune. They're immune to this, right? This is something that they'll never have to deal with because we have American privilege, right? The reserve currency of the world. People are forced to use it. Let me get this to play here for you. This is hyperinflation in Venezuela caused a complete collapse of the economy. Their money is worthless. And I've shared with you the Bolivar, but just check this image out. Let these images sink in. Dumpsters full of cartons of cash littering the streets and the grass, people tossing it in the air, trillions and trillions of dollars in notes just floating around, worthless. That's where fiat ends up. So I'm going to let it play. I want it to burn into your mind, the image you see on the screen. Let it burn, let it sear into your brain tissue, all right? Because what you're seeing on that screen is the ultimate destination of all fiat. There is not a fiat currency in the history of the world that has survived. The test of time, the test of malfeasance, the test of government ineptitude and incompetence, the manipulations by man, the theft, the grift. Not a single fiat has remained. Remember that. Fiat always dies. And gold and silver always survive. It's a very important lesson. And if you don't understand that concept, if you can't grip that, if your brain doesn't compute those realities, that fiat dies, the US dollar is purely fiat, completely disconnected and backed by nothing. Probably one of the most grotesque and abused fiats in the history of the world. If you can't understand that, you're not going to make it. NGMI, and I can't help you. Nobody can. A lot of boomers don't get it. A lot of Zoomers don't get it. A lot of Gen Xers don't get it. I don't think it's generation specific. I mean, just look at that. Who's the guy that I can't stand? I don't want to use the word hate, but I kind of do. Come on, he hates gold. He hates silver. Got the goatee. Ramsey. I don't even like to see my brain. I'm so repulsed by him that my brain cannot even retain his name. I don't even give him the data. I don't give him the space in my memory to learn or keep his name. I delete it. But Dave Ramsey, just a complete boomer piece of shit guy. Okay, I'm gonna call it what it is. He is. I don't like the guy. I don't like him. Never have. Never will. Richard Ramirez. Hey, thanks for the super chat, my friend. He goes, hold up, crap. That looks like a Colorado apartment building. Hey, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is there. The Ramsey's been anti-gold, anti-silver forever. He's been telling people to I've shared with you clips that if you go into I think it's in the archives. I don't know if it's public view or private as far as channel members only, because a lot of videos are channel members only now. So again, channel members, those of you with the coin after your name, thank you. Thank you for your support of this channel. But there is the ability for you to watch certain videos that are not available to everybody else all the time. And I did cover Ramsey in the past, showed clips of him. There's more that I haven't shared with you that are even more recent productions of his, where people called in asking about gold or silver. And this is all, in the last couple of years. He's always against it, never held it, brags that he's a fabulously wealthy millionaire 10 times over, and he's never bought gold or silver. That's great. He's afflicted by the normalcy bias. He's one of those people that believes or is adamant that because he has never experienced something, that he's never endured a certain scenario that it can never happen, that it will never occur. And this is, I'll let it loop again. This is the scenario in which he's never experienced. He's never lived through this. He's never watched his wealth evaporate. He's never seen the assets that are denominated in dollars lose value because the currency they're denominated in lose value themselves. Or the stocks and the markets, the economy that he's tied to. He's a firm believer in perpetual prosperity of the American economy. He believes that he definitely believes in credit. He thinks that even though he's against taking on loans and debt and credit cards, he believes that the future will always be more productive than the present. That's why he's investing. That's why he's lending money to people, to companies, buying stocks and such. He believes in the military-industrial complex, the medical-industrial complex, the pharmacological industrial complex. He believes in all of them. He believes in Wall Street. Hook, line, and sinker, the guy swallows it up. He believes in the Fed. He believes in central banking. He believes in unbacked fiat currencies. He thinks gold's an archaic, barbaric relic. He doesn't have a clue how the economy... He doesn't realize that the U.S. dollar has only existed as you and I know it, as you and I experience it, as he has experienced it, since 1971. It's only 3 years old? That's it. 53 years old. That's it. 53, that's not very old. Especially even for fiat currencies, that's not very old. Abiel Lawrence, again, thank you, my friend. APMEX is delaying the delivery of 10-ounce Pamp Swiss silver bars until 11/11. 11/11! I wonder what's significant about it. Do you think they don't have it? Abdiel, do some research. Call them up, dive in, figure out what's going on. Maybe I'll check it out. I'll pull them up later and we'll see if we can add some to the cart, see what they got. Yeah, I would imagine there's going to be some pressure. There's a squeeze taking place in the bullion dealers. I don't know how they're doing it, honestly. I see a lot of metal out there available. There is a lot of physical metal available, but that's for now. That's for now. It could easily be consumed or taken off the market overnight. We've all seen that. Or they could halt sales. They can just stop shipping it. They can stop selling it. Annie, be quiet. There's no barking. I know. So listen up. I don't want to harp on Ramsey too much. I mean, I could go off on him forever. I could play clips of his. Another channel actually recently did a pretty good exposure of Ramsey. It's funny. It's a channel that I hadn't seen that side of before when it came to, confronting those truths and going after a guy like Ramsey. I gotta say, it always staggers me. There's times when I watch him, I'm actually speechless. I can't believe he's uttering or saying the things that he does, and that he has a microphone, and that he's given the audience that he has, and people eat it up. They think, oh, he's rich, so it's got to be true. Everything he says is, everything he says has to be accurate because he's rich. If that's true, that means Beyonce's brilliant. Name some really dumb singers for me. Come on.
Katy Perry,
Rihanna. Who's the other one that's like, she's so dumb, she has like an IQ less than a salad. She sings. I know there's all of them, all pop music stars. Exactly. I'm very difficult to narrow it down. She's crazy.
She's fried.
The one that
Taylor Swift.
Oh, there's just so many.
There's too many. You can't ask me to name.
I'm trying to remember
who has the worst.
She sings some really vulgar rap songs, very promiscuous.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, her she's almost illiterate.
Yes.
She's borderline illiterate.
Oh wait! I know who you're talking about. She's kind of like her.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj. The other one. There's another one.
The other one.
She was in the media. Yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. We don't know. I couldn't even name a song. She's irrelevant. My point is, there's a lot of stupid people that have a lot of money, and some people that have very strong grips and
Cardi B.
Cardi B. That's not. She's dumber than a bucket of SHIT. Exactly. My point is, they're very wealthy, right? Illiterate. It literally incapable of explaining to you probably any timeline of human history and being able to pick out dates and periods and what took place here in battles, the movement of people, politics, philosophy. I mean, just any topic, really. Anything. Even if the sciences, the natural world. Being able to describe or differentiate between different fauna and megafauna. I mean, these are people that are so effing stupid that it's unimaginable, right? I mean, dumber than than anything, than anybody you know, most likely. And they're fabulously wealthy. So my point there is it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't even, I would say it doesn't even matter on your investment acumen, how much you've made just investing. You got lucky. It's a casino. Come on, you pulled some slots. You lined up 3 cherries and the machine spit out money. That's it. A lot of people, that's how it worked for them. I've had wealthy people even tell me that. I didn't do anything, man. It was total luck. I just put it over here and it hit that number. Boom, I got money. It's like going to the races. It's like a horse race. I bet on that one and it was the best. It did it. It won the race. It's that simple. For some people, that's what it is. So just because he has money doesn't mean he's intelligent. All right? He wears his little spectacles and his little shirt and he has a little earpiece in his microphone, which you don't need anymore. I think he does that for appearance. He has his little minion, the little yes man that sits next to him. We've seen that. But he doesn't get it. The point of this is Ramsey doesn't get it. He doesn't see this. He hasn't seen it. He's called it wrong the entire time. And we've called it right. You have called it right. We've been right on target and right again. And metals, gold and silver, have been right on target. And anyone in them, anyone who's purchasing precious metals or has purchased precious metals is right again. There you go. Silver broke $33 per ounce. It's up $1.32. It's up 4.16%. Throw it down in the chat. Everyone throw down to $33. Come on. It's there. $33. Gold's up $25.50, $27.33. Again, it broke $2,700 this morning. So again, let me ask you this. In the amount of time you've been on this channel, those of you, now I'm going to kind of segregate the groups here. Those of you who've been on this channel essentially from the inception, and the way I'll go back. Those of you who were here pre-10,000 subs. So this would be when we announced the first coin, or the only coin we've ever made. We've made the silver one and the gold one. The silver, the channel coin. Those of you who were around back then and been part of this movement, let me ask you something. Have you made a mistake? Have we been wrong or have we been right? Has buying metals over the course of the last decade and a half been a good move or a bad move? Have you preserved your wealth? Has it done what you wanted it to do so far? Is it still there? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Does it have any counterparty risk? No. The only regret that I've ever had with metals, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to share with you, we're going to dive deep here. I'm going to give you a confession. My single greatest regret with precious metals in the course of my life, working, trying to save here and there, doing things, just existing, going through life. My single greatest regret is not buying more. Not stacking more silver, not stacking more gold when I had the opportunity, when it was lower, when it was cheaper. If I could only time travel. And I've shared stories with you guys, and it just plagues me. I have these images seared into my mind of these memories of younger times, of when I worked in construction for my dad, and it was 1999, and I was working and just working hard with calloused hands and a sore body, but working hard. And I remember staggering into this Quonset hut. Yes, it was a metal Quonset hut, if you know what those are and what they look like. It even had like I think it was a dirt floor or gravel. It was like set up very shoddily. But the guy he would deal all kinds of things. It was almost like it wasn't a pawn shop, but he sold all kinds of things. Let's just put it there. But he had a very established and reputable bullion business as well. He would sell gold and silver, a lot of it from mints, new from mints, bars, coins, nothing really numismatic. This is more bullion, right? I remember when gold was 256, 260. I remember it was under $300 an ounce, and I remember back then. But the problem wasn't that I was in school later on in life. Costs came up, and I had to unload a lot of it. It wasn't a significant amount, but I remember the ability to work. I remember the ability to work and to be able to buy gold like it was nothing. Like it was just, it was an easy way to put some savings away, and it was there. It was affordable. It wasn't that expensive. That's changing. For a lot of people now, an ounce of gold is close to a month's salary for some people. Close to it. It's getting there. Pretty significant moves. And, we look at the purchasing power of precious metals over time. Silver has a lot of catching up to do. I've shared with you my belief of where silver is going to be eventually. It's not there yet. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, imagine where silver can be. I mean, if you study history, you look at history, you look at where it's been. You look at what silver's been capable of. You look at the supplies. And this isn't the video for that, but we know, and I've shared with you where I believe it will be eventually, which is much higher than it is now. I think the direction for metals, and again, I'll repeat a quote that I've said on this channel for the last years, many years. How often have you heard me say, this is not about weekly movements or daily movements. This is nothing even about the year 2024. It's not about current events. It's not about geopolitics right now, even though that does play into it a little bit. I've told you repeatedly, hear me here, remember this quote, and you've heard it, and you can write it, but multi-decade bull run. Not even multi-decade. We're facing perhaps a multi-century bull run. But it doesn't really have to run. I mean, all gold and silver have to do is find equilibrium with the values of fiat. And if fiat is worthless, which it is, has no value, the equilibrium is such that, and I'm going to share you a headline in a minute, there is no upper limit. Because the abyss, the black hole of where fiat is going, is limitless. It's infinite. Fiat has the ability to lose infinite value. An apple today might cost 50 cents, but in a few years, when we're looking at things like Venezuela, when we're looking at images like we've seen out of Zimbabwe or Weimar, Germany, or any other of the hundreds and hundreds of fiats who've died over it throughout history, that apple could be $50,000, $5 million. And I've shared with you charts on metal prices in those economies. So when I look at a headline like this morning, how high can gold and silver rally? ? From Saxo Bank. Well, as high as you can possibly imagine. There truly is no limit. What currency are you talking about? In US dollars? Are you asking me how high can gold and silver go in USD? Well, the answer to that is infinite. People will laugh and scoff at that. Oh, no, Junius, you're crazy. No, $50,000 to $80,000 gold is nothing, really. Think about it. Nothing. I mean, we've gone from, let's just do the math. We've gone from $260 an ounce to $2,700. That's 10 times. We go 10 times from where we are today, that's 27,000. All right? So you just do that for yourself. Do the math. 10x the metals every once in a while. Silver, historically, yeah, I think it should be $650 an ounce right now. $650. Right now it should be $650. Without the death of fiat. without the death of the US dollar. That's where it should be. You start taking into account an unraveling of the United States economy and a complete abandonment of the US dollar globally, a collapse in the US economic order and system, hyperinflation, a default on the debt, everything else you can imagine. Throw all the variables in there. Just start making stuff up. Just start saying it. I don't care. Makes sense, right? Any of that. Again, limitless, infinite. There is no end. There is no number. There's no fixed amount. You can't say like, oh, silver's going to cap out at around 25,000 and 10,000. It doesn't matter. Those numbers are completely irrelevant. An ounce is an ounce. An ounce of silver is worth an ounce of silver. An ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. And it will always buy and acquire goods and services. 7,000 years can't be wrong. It's not wrong. And there's a reason people want it. Reason they're going after it. Reason they hoard it. Right? There's a reason it's sitting up there, just like this. Where is it at? Top of CNBC every single day. There's a reason these people look at it. There's a reason there's banks that talk about it, trade it. There's a reason it's 33 and a quarter right now. There's a reason it's up $1.47 this morning. These aren't small moves. 4% is not a small move, especially for metals. Mark Gutierrez, greetings, my friend. Greetings to you as well, and thank you for the support of this channel. Thank you. We've looked at charts for metals over the years. We've looked at where they've been, the ups, the downs, the sideways movements. But the big thing is, the point of today's discussion is how if we're just patient, you just sit back, pump the brakes, cool your jets, calm down, you'll realize and you'll look at these things and examine it, and you'll say, hey, we're right on target. And not only are we right on target, we're right over the target, which is why they want to censor everything else we talk about here, our speech, our language. That's why Hillary Clinton wants to shut things like this down. That's why YouTube has tried to stifle me, censor me in the past. That's why I had to go to YouTube re-education camp and learn how to not say certain things about certain topics, like medical things, right? Remember that when I was in the YouTube concentration camp?
The Google log?
That's a good question, A1 Savage. How many bolivars to buy an ounce of silver? Why don't we find out? Why don't we find out, my friend? Let's look. I believe silverprice.org has the ability to do that. And I will answer your question, my friend. I will look with you, because it's a great question. If it comes up, I mean, I tried. Let's go. What's going on here? Come on, silverprice.org. Nothing there. Let's go over here. Let's go like this. Gold price. I'll bring it up here. It looks like gold price and silverprice.org are frozen in time. Is there a problem? Do we have a problem? Maybe Mr. Smith has created a glitch in the matrix. He's upset that we've uncovered something. You ever wonder ultimately where it's going to go? I know we're all curious, and that's part of this. That's why it's so entertaining at times. It's fascinating, and I can't for the life of me understand why people would not want to participate, would not want to hold metals and take a seat on this ride. There's so many that are opposed to it. And have you ever noticed the people that are opposed to holding precious metals? It's almost like a fanatical opposition. It's like it doesn't even work. Like their reasoning isn't sound. They're almost opposed to it in a religious sort of way. They just don't want to. They hate what it represents. They're disgusted by the people who buy it. You'll even sense, back to Dave Ramsey, a sense of animosity towards people that are precious metals enthusiasts or people that purchase gold and silver. A very condescending, pretentious posture you'll see from Ramsey. Almost like, those idiots, those people. Oh, the end of the world people? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The people that are buying it for the apocalypse, they're going to buy stuff with it. Yeah. And they're better off buying tires and food and gasoline and oil. Dave, have you ever studied economics? Have you ever tried to move a bushel of wheat? How about 10 bushels of wheat? How about barrels of oil? Do you not comprehend the concept of wealth density and how gold represents a larger volume of other goods and services, and that's why humans settled on it as the ultimate medium of exchange? Dave, Mr. Ramsey, my goateed boomer friend, if you could do me the respect of going and reading Alan Greenspan. I'm sure you know who he is, and you respect him. Surely you do. Can you read his 1966 paper and speech on gold, on how it's the single greatest medium that there ever has been for humans to transact with? Or how about Karl Marx, huh? The commie, the Bolshevik himself, the guy who founded it all, the communists. He even said all transactions ultimately settle in gold. Or how about J.P. Morgan? We can go there too. Let's talk about him. Do you know who he is? You respect him, I'm sure. He's one of your Wall Street pimps. He said gold is money. Everything else is just credit. So why is it you stray from that? How come you can't see that? Gold's it, man. Silver's it, man. Thousands and thousands of years. No one's going to store barrels of oil or mountains of wheat in their garage that can spoil and rot and mold and mice can get into. There's a very sound reason for sound money. The portability, the storability, the fungibility, the divisibility, the durability. There's a lot of abilities here, but he doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. And it blows my mind how these fanatical anti-precious metals people don't comprehend the reasons for stacking precious metals, where it comes from. And that's why I've always tried to put a little bit of light on it, an emphasis on sound money and the ideology of it. You see, that's another conversation. You've got these people that they tend to have, they touch the surface, they dabble, they dip their toes in gold and silver. They get hobby into it. They get the hobby part of it, right? They collect cool little tokens and images and from this mint or that mint or this series. And they spend a lot of money on numismatic value. That's fine. That's cool. I like numismatic stuff too. But there's a disconnect there. They never really fully grasp why it is these metals are the way they are and why they're in the form of a coin, where it comes from, what gives them the value they have. And they really don't like to touch on the ideology of precious metals or wealth preservation over time, the storage of labor, combating inflation, combating government theft, and what it takes to really invest yourself ideologically into the concept of sound money and separating yourself from the fiat economy, the lies of the governments, the banking system. It truly is an incredible pill to swallow. And I am pissed right now that I can't get silverprice.org to open. I don't know what the hell's going on. Are you kidding me? Open, work for the love of humanity. Let's just go to Google. Oh, we could try ChatGPT. Do you think ChatGPT would tell us? How many bolivars? Let's do it in Google. Let's see. I'm not sure. Goldbroker.com. Let's see if that works. This might be correct. I mean, it says here, because, and again, they've had a revaluation, by the way. They've had a revaluation of their currency. So the images we saw, they've hacked zeros, done a reset. They've tried to rescue things. But it looks like today, currently, it's 1,290 bolivars per ounce, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. We've got it in US dollars, 33, British pound, 25 pounds, euros, 30, Swiss franc, 28.60, Australian dollar, 49.21. It's almost $50 in Australian dollars now. It's Canadian dollars, 45.60, Chinese yuan, 234, Indian rupee, 2,777, Japanese yen, 4,937. Wow, we're almost getting to 5,000 yen for an ounce of silver. Okay. And it looks like 1,290 Venezuelan bolivar. I just looked at metal prices in Japanese yen, Red Dawn. Did you see that? Right here. 5,000. It's 4,937 yen. Can you see that okay? Good. Good. Oh, man. Let's see. What is it in Zimbabwe? I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know how to... Oh, look at this. South African Rand. I don't know if they have Zimbabwe in here. I don't believe they do. I might have to... Let's see. We'll check this out. Again, a lot of these economies, they change so often. It's crazy. Goldprice.org says 120 million Venezuelan bolivar. Is that for gold or silver, though? Live silver prices in Venezuela today. 12.92. Close to 1,300. Live price of gold. This is gold price. And let's find it. Some of these sites are so garbage. I mean, you wonder who runs them, where their servers are. Just ads and just nothing works. Bullion rates. Oh yeah, we were going to go to APMEX, right? I was going to check something on APMEX with all of you. This is crazy that silver price isn't working for me, though. I don't understand that at all. It's like I'm blocked. I've never seen this before in my life. I even have it favorited and saved. But the page will not open up on my computer. And I have a pretty good computer, I thought. I mean, it's okay. But, I mean, every other page works up, just fine. Just fine. Well, we'll do that next. I want to check something out here. Silver Pamp Swiss bars, right? Let's go. Okay. 10-ounce bars. Where are we? Let's go to bars. 10-ounce. Weight. Descending. Okay. Now I'm looking for silver 10-ounce bars. Let's go like this. 10-ounce. Okay. Abdiel. Pamp Swiss. Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. Okay, yeah, there you go. There you go. There we go. These ones. These are great. Yeah, I like these. Come, Abdiel, if you're checking out, there are metal dealers, bullion dealers that sell these on the same bar, and they're reputable, legit on eBay, and they ship just fine. Everything's the same. They come with the little serial number card, just like this. Yes, these right here. These are, of course, so these are pre-sell pre-sale. Does that mean they don't have them? Are these? It's like this. Let's order 5,000. Ooh. Okay, there you go. Unfortunately, so you guys can see it. I love when this happens. Check it out. You see that? I just typed in 5,000, right? And it corrected it to 115. And it said, unfortunately, we only have 115 of this item in stock. Please call sales manager at blah, blah, blah if you wish to purchase a larger quantity. So I don't know why there'd be a delay if it says they have 115 in stock. So gold reached new all-time highs. Act now! Let's go check it out. Let's see how much gold they got. Want to see? It's fun. I don't know how honest they are. I try to see how honest they are with their gold. But let's just see buffaloes. Let's see how many buffaloes are in there. Let's go random years, 1 ounces. Doesn't matter. Let's just see. You got 5,000? Ooh, 168. They got 168 buffs in so there's 168 ounces in gold buffaloes. Not a lot. Somebody could clean that out real quick. Really quickly. They got a bunch of slabbed coins. What else are we looking at? What else we got? So, I mean, you never know. I mean, you'll get old gold eagles, 1 ounce gold eagle coins. Do they just have rough? What's like this? Gold monster boxes. Okay. I don't see that. Looks like it's 500 ounce gold. That should have. Oh, they don't have any. They probably don't have any monster boxes available of gold American Eagles. I'm looking at, say, 1 ounce gold American Eagle BU. Random year. Here we go, because it's half ounce. Here's the 2023s. We'll just see how many they got. They got 24. So there's only 24 of Eagles, gold Eagles in the 2023 year. Any regulars. Let's see what else they got. So there's 24 of those. We got 100 of the other ones. Yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here with some of this stuff. 2020s, they got some of those. They got some 98s, it looks like. But again, when you look at these up, when you see, okay, how many they got? Let's see, 1,000? You got 1,000? Yeah, they got 5. They have 5 2020s in stock. So there's no gold. I mean, there's, honestly, if we scraped it together hard enough on this channel and we did some movements, we could probably clean out APMEX if we all really tried. You know, we could probably clean out APMEX. There's not a lot of gold left, it looks like, on APMEX. Oh well. That's kind of cool. As far as silver goes, I wonder. We could check. Let's see how many Eagles. American Silver Eagle coins. You guys curious? 1 ounce random years. So just random. If you're trying to buy as many as you could, let's go. Okay, I want to buy 10,000. It's not letting me throw any more zeros in there. Let's go like this. It's letting me. Am I okay there? You could. Let's see. Add to cart. I doubt that. It's letting me add 9,900 or so. Apparently they have 10,000 ounces of silver. Eagles. So this is a heck of a lot of Eagles, it looks like. I wonder. You probably get a phone call. Well, we can't fill that order exactly. That was random. Let's see the 2024s. It's letting them add. I'll just go check out. Let's begin checkout. Subtotal 780 grand. Probably just swipe that on the card. Mrs. Maltby won't care. 780 grand. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can buy close to 2 ounces shy of 20,000 in Eagles for about 780 grand. Someone throw that down. Someone do it. Someone out there. Come on. Yeah, gold's up 37% last year. says buck 52,000. It is. I mean, we're looking at metals are up. I mean, if you go back, they're close to, I don't know what the time frame would be. I haven't looked at the chart exactly, but they're coming up on like 100% gains in the last several years from their lows. Pretty staggering, really. I mean, it's in significant movements. When you look at the charts, I mean, you look at this here, you got silver cranking out, where are we at here? Buck 48, up 4.68% today, up to 33.26. And again, look at the percentage movements. You look at the percentage movements in gold versus silver. Yeah, gold's moving a lot. I mean, it's breaking these psychological records, right? It's moving. But it's only up 0.84% today. It was up like 0.5 or whatever. It's 0.5 to 1% a day. It was just pretty good on these movements. But when you look at silver on some of these days, it's moving look at this, 4.7%. That's huge. That's a pretty remarkable move for silver, who just sits there. Gold, they both just sit there, but you know what I'm saying about metals. Like, to move 4.5%, it's shaking things up a bit. Silver up on the year 44.5%. Gold's up 39.3%. Says long-lived coins. Thanks for that data in the chat, my friend. Good to have that kind of stuff. I like when people throw stuff like that down. Thank you. It hasn't even begun, though. Honestly, I truly believe that this hasn't even begun. It hasn't even moved. And Clint Arthur says, Krugs. You want to look for Krugs? Silver or gold Krugs? I like Krugs. I used to buy Krugerrands when I was younger just because it pissed people off. Apartheid. Apartheid. So, I'm buying their gold. I like it. Apartheid. Apartheid. Shut up. I don't care about apartheid. It's not my problem. They make cool coins. I buy them. How you doing? I'm looking for it. Come on. Let's go like this. 2024 Krugs. Let's check them out. How many they got? 801. So of the 2024 Krugs at APMEX, there's 801. That's it. I find it really hard to believe that they have as many Silver Eagles as they're claiming on APMEX. I just don't buy it, man. I'm just not. I just don't buy it. I just don't get. I wonder if I can change the cart. Update. Add another 9 on there. No, they won't let you. That's the max amount of digits. Let's see if there's Krugs in gold. 2024 South African Krugs. 43. They got 43 1 ounce 2024. So there's not a lot of gold. I mean, again, the gold and even the Krug silver there wasn't a lot of those either. Looks like the most popular thing, or the thing they have the most of, is the U.S. Silver Eagles. Do they have randoms here? South African. Yeah, these are random years here. So random year Krugs, 28. There's 28 random year Krugs on APMEX. That's it. Just 28. That's it. That's all they got. How many silver Krugs they got? Did I look up? Let's see, random years. They have those. Here we go. Random silver Krugs right here. Here you go. Ready? Let's check it out. 125. So there you go. You guys could clear out right now 120. If you want, I mean, long live the raid, right? There's 125 ounces of silver Krugs in APMEX currently right now. This coin. There's 125 of these here. That's it. You guys could easily clean these out Is there a way to copy? I mean, I'm right-clicking mouse. I don't understand sometimes how my technology interface here works, because I'll hit things and they just don't listen to me. They don't work. They don't function. I threw the link down there, so if you guys want to clean out the Silver Cruise, there's only 125 of these in stock. That's it. Yeah, nobody. I don't know why people buy Silver Eagles anyway. I don't understand the U.S. Mint. Honestly, it's so woke, and it bothers me so much. The people in charge, the images that they've started engraving and stamping. I avoid it at all costs. I don't even buy stuff that I want from them anymore, or that I like. Like, I wouldn't mind getting one of the new Restrike high relief peace dollars. I would love to. I just can't buy from the U.S. Mint. I just can't. I can't. I'm just that opposed to who they are, what they represent, and everything about them. I hate the institution, despise it, and I don't want any part of it. So I don't buy the new Morgans or the new peace dollars. I just avoid them. I buy other stuff. Just the way it is. That's just the way it is. There's some Silver Krugs, my friend. Pick them up. What else we got? Silver Krugs. We got any more? We got any more? What do we got? Let's see. There was 125 of those. Did I look up the... I did look up the 24s, right? There was only like... How many were there? 801 of those. So they've got a lot of those. There was one I'm missing, though. Let's see. Let's see how many they got of the 21s. 15. There's only 15 of the 2021 Krugs. So one of you could clear that out right now. It's not even a full tube. If I was a billionaire, and I'm talking like Elon Musk level, I would... You'd have to get non-extraditing because they try to arrest everybody because they're little status boys, and you can't destroy currency. I would buy all the woke DEI gold, as you put it, Danville, the DEI stuff, the woke garbage that U.S. Mint puts out every year, and I would melt it down, and I would have it struck into the most anti-woke images you can possibly imagine. Like, let your imagination run with you, please, in your mind. The images and the faces and the symbolism that I would strike onto the gold that I purchased from the U.S. Mint for the sole purpose of destroying, remelting, and making new blankets and restriking would be incredible. It would be an incredible slap to their face. I would cull and remove from circulation their woke DEI image, and then I would unleash upon the world images that would have them shivering, shaking, nightmarish. They would when they close their eyes at night and lay their heads on their pillows, the images that I struck into the metal they issued would cause them nightmares. Sleeplessness. Yeah, I'd love to. Oh, for sure. Robert E. Lee would be on there. Absolutely. All kinds of tributes like that. It'd be great. It'd be beautiful. I'm not going to hide it. That's exactly what I would do. Yeah, I hate the U.S. Mint. I hate it. I actually do. Truly. The last thing I ever ordered from them was a 2009 high relief, and I will never buy from them again. And that gets back to the ideology of precious metals, but that opens up doors into other philosophical discussions. And I did a huge speech on this channel years ago on Lady Liberty, what it represents, where it comes from, the ideas behind it. And why I don't like the moves that the U.S. Mint has made since. Anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, you're right on target, and you're right again. You have been right this entire time in buying precious metals, in securing your wealth, and storing your labor. We've done well, and we'll continue to do well. We're going to continue to win this. Ultimately, we win this. We do. That's just the way it is. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. It's not always going to be up. But I can guarantee you one thing. Eventually, it goes up from here. Again and again. I mean, the timeline, the history that's here in front of us, what we're seeing unfold and take place. It's a multi-decade bull run. Multi-century. It's only going up. Because, again, the dollar can only go down. It can only get weaker. It can only be eroded. It's only going to be debased and devalued. It's the way it is. So keep picking up your metals. Keep stacking. Pull more off the market. The more we can pull off the market and hoard away and hide away and don't sell it. One of the things it confuses the heck out of me. These short, paper-handed, short-term holders. These guys that bought metals like during and there was a lot of them. They bought during the whole mad dash for silver during the silver squeeze days. And then they dumped it. They got bored. They sold it. A lot of kids and stuff. They couldn't handle it. They were immature. They weren't ready for this. They weren't in this. We've been in these trenches. We've been in this battle. We've been fighting this fight for a long time. And it's not over yet. All right. Take care, my friends. Thanks for tuning in to the Junius Maltby Channel. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. I look forward to the next video, the next discussion, the next extemporaneous ramblings. Always glad to have you on here. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Be well.